Hi, and thank you so much for joining me. It's another Friday, and I have a fun fold for you. I'm Patty from pspapercrafts, and today we're going to make a double box fun fold card. This is it. It's 2 boxes, and it will collapse like this to fit in your envelope, and I think it's really pretty. It's the kind that will sit up. So, you know, send somebody a thinking of you card and they can have it on their counter or shelf or in their hospital room on a windowsill. And then on the back, you can write a note, or you can just put some designer series paper back here if you didn't want to use it to write a note. But isn't that pretty? So I got the idea from Pinterest, of course, and I looked at a bunch of different videos, and I found Jackie Bowl, who's, I don't know if I'm saying her name right. She's from Clump and Stamp, I think it's called. She and her husband do all these fun fold videos, and they're really great, and she has some great ideas. So I watched her video, and the measurements are from her. They're not mine. I did see other cards with other measurements, so, you know, whatever you want to use, but this seemed to work really well. And the products I'm using for this one, I pulled out my Perennial Lavender designer series paper, which I absolutely love. You know, get all the new papers and the old ones sit aside for a little bit. And then I got my Thinking of You from Simply Said. This is great. It's just very simple sentiments. There's 2 birthdays, so birthday wishes and happy birthday. And then I did stamp on the back some of this and one of the butterflies. And then I did cut the greenery and the flowers using the painted lavender dyes, and I added some of my brushed brass butterflies. These are some of my favorite embellishments. So let's leave this guy out. So this is just very nice to just sit here. And we're going to put him up here, or her up here. I don't know, is a card a male or a female? Who knows? Anyway, today we are going to be using the Countryside Inn designer series paper. This is another oldie but goodie. Let me make sure I said the name right. Let me put that down. Countryside Inn. Yes, this is all the blues, and this is one of my favorite patterns. So I'm using that, and then this dotted one. And these are the pieces. Now this card, you can make it vertical or horizontal. So this one is vertical, and this one we're going to make is going to sit this way. So you can do it whichever way you want. It kind of depends on what you feel like doing, I guess. But it's the same measurements. The big thing is when you use your paper, if it's directional, you want to really make sure that you have it going the right way. If it's not directional, it doesn't matter, right? So this is pretty peacock too. I almost went with the Gorgeous Grape, but I was back and forth, and then I have this, and this is Lost Lagoon, because I think that's a perfect match with Pretty Peacock. So we're going to use a thick basic white to start with, and I'll have all the measurements in a project sheet below this video. So if you click on it, it will have pictures, measurements, and instructions that will go along nicely with the video. So this is 9 3/8 by 4 1/4. So we're going to go along the 9 3/8 side of it, and we're going to do some scoring. Now the first score is 3/8. There's a lot of eighths in this, so I hope you you get whatever cutting tool you use. You know, you've got your 16ths, your eighths, your quarters, your halves, your 3/4, your inches. So hopefully that makes sense to you, because there's a lot of eighths in here. So because it's such a small, I don't want to put it on this side because it may not be straight. I like having as much along here to hold it straight in place. So I'm going to do that one on this side, and then we're going to put it over to the other side. So we're going to do 1 2 3/8, okay, and we're going to just score that, and then we're going to just flip it around. You don't have to do that, it's just to me it makes it easier. And then we're going to do 1 3/8. So we're at 1 1 2 3/8, okay, and we'll score that, and then we're going to do 2 7/8. So that's the 8th right before. There's a 16th after it, but and then the 3. So, and then we're doing 3 7/8. And this is making that box piece. Okay, and then we have the second box, and this one is 3 1/2 by 5 1/8. So on the 5 1/8, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to score 3/8. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to score that, and then we're going to flip it around, and we're going to score at 1 3/8. So we're at 1, 1, 2, 3. And then our scoring is done. And we've got our pieces for the boxes. So let's get our tool to fold these and burnish them, our bone folder. And I'm just going to fold them by hand, and then I'll burnish them. And you'll see this is going to make that box. The key is really in the measurements. And then the rest of it is just putting it together. And then there's one more. So now this is going to make this box, and you have to make sure it lands kind of square here, okay? And then on this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to fold them, and then we'll burnish them with the bone folder. And then I have my pieces cut of designer series paper. So this is going to sit like this. Very easy. So we just have to decorate. So this is the paper. As I said, this is my favorite. Now this piece, you have to be careful because it's 3 3/4 by 4. So it's almost a square, but you want to make sure that when you're cutting your paper, you're going with the direction. So this will fit nicely here. If you wanted to do it this way, it's the wrong direction, right? So you would want this to be 4 by 3 3/4. So you just have to think about, you know, what direction you're going to make your card in, and if you have directional paper, how that's going to fit. And then this one, it doesn't matter. This is not really directional. I did want to make this piece, although it's not directional, you want to make it kind of the same pattern that will, and this will fit on here, so that it kind of goes along the same way. Hope that makes sense. All right, so let's put our pieces together. First, we're going to put this down, and I'm going to use liquid glue. I love all sides of this paper. It is just one of my favorites. I think all the blues are so pretty. And we're going to put it down here. Get this out of the way. And we're really going to just make sure we're even and straight, even border all around. And that will help us figure out this piece, right? So now this piece, we're just going to put glue right on this little edge here. And we're going to, I think she said just to fold it down. Yes, so you can just close it and fold it down like this. Jackie gave the instructions and her husband did the work. He's a pretty good crafter, following what she tells him. And then we'll put this on here. She's fun to watch. And then this will go on here. And of course you could use a different blue, but I thought the white really kind of pulled out the white in this paper. And then this one, we'll do the same thing. I love this too. Look at those little foxes. I was glad that this paper carried over from last year's catalog. Just make sure it's going the right way, because this one also is a 3 1/4 by 3 1/2, so it's almost a square, but not quite right. And if you put it down the wrong way, it's going to hang over and be too short. So then this is going to sit here. So we want to put little glue just on this little lip here, and then some glue here. We don't want to go out too far. And we will put this down. And you want it to be even, side to side, top to bottom. So I'm going to eyeball it, but you want to make sure, and let's see, we want to make sure this is, whoops, let's see, now I moved it. That's why I like the liquid glue. Gives you that little bit of time. Does that look good? Just make sure it's down good. Okay, looks good, right? And then I decided just to put a circle on it with a sentiment, because I want to show off this paper. You can do, you know, whatever you want here. Like I put the flowers here. I feel like this is a little bit small. I got this from, I'm thinking maybe I want to go a little bit bigger. This is from the Round We Go dies, because I was going to use one of these sentiments, Time to Celebrate, but I'm thinking it's kind of lost. Should we put something? So that's this one. Maybe we should put something behind it. Yeah. To kind of, why don't we do that? I'm going to cut a piece of, I think it's boho blue with this. Let me just get that out. All right, so I'm back. I think I'm going to do that. I have a piece of boho blue, and that's the same blue that's in here. And I have the bigger circle, and we'll just, do I have both my plates here? Let me get my plate. I just have a scrap here, just barely gonna fit here, but it will work. And let's put this down. I think it'll just, it kind of looks lost in there, doesn't it? Okay, so let's get this out of the way. And these dies are really fun. You can make some pinwheels with it. So these, or this one, will cut and you fold it back and forth like a fan, and then you can create a pinwheel. I've done that before. It's on my blog if you're interested. It's called Round We Go. And then there's all of these. It's just a fun set. So let's see how this is going to look. Yeah, I think that's better, right? And then I have my sentiment, Time to Celebrate. And then on the inside, I'm going to have Happy Birthday. Whoops. Always have some little doodads there. Time to Celebrate. And I love the fact that when you stamp on a circle, if it's not straight, it just turns around. It makes it nice and easy. All right, so let's put this down with some glue, and then we'll put some dimensionals on, and we'll put some bling on it as well. Time to Celebrate. And we'll put that down with dimensionals. We'll just put 3. And just put this right down here. Okay, so when you do your back piece, because it's going this way, make sure your back piece is going the same direction. Let me get one. I always have a stack of them right next to me. I pre-cut them 4 by 5 1/4, so they're all set. So on this one, we have it going this way. On this one, we want to go this way. And I thought I would do the Happy Birthday. And you can put paper back there. That might be a good thing to do. I was going to stamp some, I don't know if it's called confetti. I don't know what it is. What would you call this? These stars. And I thought I would do them. Let me see if I have a scrap. A little bit lighter. So if you stamp off, you can get a lighter shade. thought I would do them right here. Stamp off. Oh, it doesn't look good. Let's do that again. Stamp off. And you can put paper down there if you wanted to, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. And then we can just glue this on the back and we've got our card done. 1, 2, 3, 4. I feel like this is not down. I'm going to have to sneak a little glue in there. It's not sitting down nicely. So happy birthday. And even though it's white, I like to add another layer just to make it look more finished. You don't have to, but make sure you stamp before you do your whole folding, because if you make a mistake, you kind of ruined your whole card if you don't put another layer. Now, if you happen to do that, you can always just cover it with another layer. So a lot of times when people, you know, make a white card, they don't put a white layer on top of it. But there's no room for error that way. But you can always cover it with a white layer. So here we go. Let's get some bling on here. I'm going to use, I'm almost out of these, the Opal Rounds assortment. There's some Night of Navy in here. And we'll put one up here. I'm already out of my small ones. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I like that. I'm never satisfied with that. So this is the Time to Celebrate. Fits in the envelope. Very pretty. Sits up nicely, and then Thinking of You. Okay, so these are called double box fold, fun fold. And we've made cards like this without this second box. It's just this piece, which is another idea as well. But thanks for joining me. This is the last fun fold for July, so I'll be coming out with the August calendar shortly, and we'll have a new set of technique or fun folds for Friday. If you want this, give me a subscribe to my email, and I will send you this each month with the new calendar for each month, with ideas and suggestions for creating some fun things. All right, thanks so much and have a great week. Bye.